Eating nutritious food plays a vital role in our overall health and well-being. And because of our fast-paced lives, most of us tend to lean on foods that are tasty yet convenient and accessible. More often than not, these are also not the healthiest. As a result, we develop poor eating habits that put us at risk of developing an array of health issues. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're here to build a healthier future for you. Good nutrition is essential for keeping us healthy. It helps children grow and develop properly and reduces our risk for chronic diseases. To help us with today's discussion, let's welcome our guests. With us is Dr. Joy Fontanilla. She's an endocrinologist from St. Luke's Global. Also with us is Ms. Juvie Martillo C. She's the Chief Clinical Nutritionist Dietitian of Weight Management Section at the Asian Hospital and Medical Center. We often think of healthy eating as dieting, but this isn't always true. It's not about the strict limitations, staying unrealistically thin, and depriving yourself of the food you love. Rather, it's more about feeling great, having more energy, boosting your mood, and improving your overall health. Although it can sometimes get complicated, but it shouldn't be. Dr. Joy, I'll start with you first. Please help our audience understand the importance of good nutrition as opposed to just plainly eating.
Well, basically, we should all be eating to live, not living to eat. Healthy eating is all about having the right food choices, having a balanced diet. So one of the ways by which we can have a good healthy eating pattern is following the healthy eating plate or the pinggang kloy, where you can have different sorts of nutrients from various food groups.
Now, it seems like for every expert that would say that one type of food is good for you, you'll see another saying the complete opposite. Ms. Juvie, is it the specific foods that you eat that are important or your overall diet?
When we say overall diet, so we have to know the different types of nutrients. So meron tayong dalawang grupo na pinaka-importante. Ayan yung macronutrients na binubuo ng carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Ang protina naman ay ito yung grupo ng mga ulam natin, mga meat, fish, chicken. Nagsisilbi naman na magandang support sa wound healing and it strengthens our muscles. So ito ay nagtutulungan para mapaganda or magamit natin yung pagiging malakas or yung functions ng macronutrients. So ito yung kompletong nutrients na nagtataglay para ma-maintain natin yung overall health well-being.
Now, the effects of poor nutrition can manifest as being overweight, obese, or even malnourished. Dr. Joy, please explain to us how our food choices may lead to these.
Have too much calories in our diet, you can have excess weight. So that can lead to having overweight and obesity. And if you're eating too little, then you can have underweight, or you can have, if you're burning more calories than you're taking in, then you're going to lose a lot of weight. So it's very important for people to have to control the portions of the food that they eat and pay attention to how much they eat. If they're not burning too much, like during this pandemic, people are not so physically active, they may not need as much calories as they were using up before.
Now, another cause for poor nutrition is ang natural pagtatanda ng isang tao. Ms. Juvie, pwedeng paki-explain ito kung bakit hindi maganda ang nutrisyon ng isang tao habang tumatanda?
So it depends on the amount of what we eat. For example, if it's too much protein, this would lead to a kidney disease related to too much protein intake. Kapag meron naman tayong lifestyle na matataas ang intake natin of sugary-rich foods, this would lead to elevation of the glucose level. So it would lead also to diabetes. So it depends on the lifestyle and also yung mga favorites natin na uncontrolled na kinakain ay talagang mag-lead to a specific disease. For example, also yung sa cardio problem natin, if you are fond of fatty-rich foods like uncontrolled appetite of having the mga mga red meats, yung mga lechong kawali, pata. So this will also lead to cardiovascular diseases. So it depends on the lifestyle of our childhood or middle age, and it would lead to a specific disease na based on our history of food history.
Now, since we're talking about yung mga nakatatanda, no, lalo na yung mga may maintenance na gamot, merong ibang mga gamot, maintenance na gamot, over-the-counter and prescription na gamot that can affect the appetite and interfere with nutrient absorption as well as metabolism. Ms. Juvie, paano kaya yung ganong situation? How can someone stay healthy while still being maintained with the medications that they need?
So we advise every individual, of course, to consult with our consultants, the physician, and if there are concerned related to nutrition or food sources, so the doctor will refer to the dietitian to explain everything about diet. If it's diabetic patient with the medications, we do our own collaboration of adjusting for example, insulin or other diabetic medications related to diet. So we are adjusting our computation with the carbohydrate requirement as well as the protein and fats. Kasi itong mga nutrients na to will still need a thorough computation that would align to the prescribed medications of our doctors.
Now, the pandemic is still ongoing, and one of the safety protocols in place is to not go to crowded places like the market. And of course, not everyone can order their groceries online. Pero Dr. Joy, with this in place, how can we easily access healthy food? What advice can you give?
Well, you just have to choose the foods that you buy. Try not to make junk food available in the house. Try to choose foods that are rich in nutrients and not in empty calories, etc., that have high calories but low in nutrients.
Poor nutrition can impair health and well-being and reduce our ability to lead a more pleasant and active life. More on this when we return. We're your connection to healthcare, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines.
Anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Poor nutrition can affect our health and reduce our quality of life. In the short term, it can lead to stress, irritability, tiredness, our capacity to work, among others. But over time, it can increase your risk for developing certain health issues. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're together in health. Poor eating habits include over or under eating, not having the healthy foods we need each day, or consuming too much of food and drinks that are high in sugar, salt, and even fat. Ms. Juvie, how does poor nutrition affect us?
Basically, it reduces our response or tolerance to our daily activities. No? If you don't have any energy, talagang very weak tayo to accomplish any task of the day. And also, if we are on the ongoing treatment with a specific disease, we have a poor response to overcome that treatment. And also we have a poor wound healing process, and it reduces muscle strength and quality of life. And the common is it really increases fatigue. So, yun yung mga common na talagang pagdadaanan natin if we really practice a poor nutrition daily.
Now, two of the leading causes of heart disease and stroke are high blood pressure and high blood cholesterol. Ms. Juvie, meron bang mga pagkain na dapat malaman nating mga viewers para ma-minimize yung dalawang ito, itong high blood pressure at high blood cholesterol?
Yes, so napaka-basic niya, no? So when we say high blood pressure, ayan yung mga salty foods or sodium containing foods. So yan yung pinakasimpleng term na maalat. So yan talaga yung nagli-lead na magpo-cause ng cardiovascular diseases natin as well as yung mga sa pagtaas ng high blood pressure natin.
Now, a poor diet can also increase some other chronic diseases, and specifically, I'd like to talk about type 2 diabetes. Dr. Joy, when it comes to type 2 diabetes, our viewers may have different understandings of these, but how early can someone have type 2 diabetes if their diet is not watched, even starting at an early age? How soon can someone have type 2 diabetes?
It's very shocking. Back in the 70s, it was almost unheard of for a child to get type 2 diabetes. These days, nagiging very common na talaga. Kahit bata, nagkakaroon ng type 2 diabetes. Dahil nga sa kids are growing up to become more overweight and obese. These days, it's so easy. Children can just eat a lot of fast food and are mostly on their iPads or watching the television set or playing on their video games. And just are not more physically active these days. So it's so easy for children to get type 2 diabetes, even though before it was known to be adult onset diabetes. Now even young people can get.
So speaking of children, the brain develops most quickly during the first 1,000 days of life, from the start of pregnancy to the child's second birthday. Dr. Joy, how does poor nutrition affect a child's development naman?
Pangit ang nutrisyon ng bata. So all of these can be affected, their brain development, bone development, muscle development. The children's intelligence can be affected. Their level of energy can be affected. Hindi sila magiging masigla pag hindi tama yung nutrisyon ng mga bata. So it's very important to teach a child how to eat a balanced diet and to have healthy food instead of junk food in their daily lives.
Okay. Now, a poor diet is also a leading risk factor for gum disease as well as tooth decay. Now, we already know that eating a lot of sugary foods or sugary drinks can cause your teeth to get cavities, but there are also others that can be bad for dental health. Ms. Juvie, diet contribute dito sa poor oral health lalo na sa mga bata. What would you advise doon sa ibang mga parents na okay lang magpakain ng mga sugary foods na to sa bata, okay lang na mabulok since temporary teeth pa yan, hindi pa lumalabas yung kanilang permanent teeth? Anong masasabi niyo dito?
The way we advise the parents directly, sila yung talagang magko-control at mag-i-influence sa mga bata. So in our practice, we really educate the parents not to introduce as possible kasi talagang, we have this number of specific months kaya ino-orient natin yung taste bud ng bata, But kapag toddler age na ang mga bata, familiarization na sila sa mga food items. So it's very parang kailangan maingat tayo every time na nag-i-introduce tayo ng food item. So we strongly recommend to introduce priority the healthy foods. So related to our dental health, sugar-rich food items are really one of the causes of ng mga tooth decay. So kailangan as in maingat tayo sa mga ganitong age ng mga bata dahil diyan natin sila ini-influence until they get older. So it's about discipline of the parents.
Okay. Now, diet doesn't only affect our physical well-being, but our mental health as well. Dr. Joy, can having a poor diet contribute to someone's mood? Can this contribute to actually being depressed?
You're absolutely right, Dr. Freddy. So there are certain foods that actually make you happy. There are certain foods that can get you down. So foods that are known to boost the mood, actually the healthier foods. So foods that are rich in fruit and vegetables, whole grains, nuts, omega-3 fatty acids, which you can get from fatty fish like salmon and tuna. Those foods can actually boost your mood. And junk food are foods that are highly processed, like your chips and your sugary foods, foods that are high in sweet desserts, you have refined cereals, high fat foods. Those can actually increase risk for depression.
Now, eating healthy and breaking bad habits don't happen overnight. When we return, we'll guide you through the steps to good nutrition. Your health is our mission. This is MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines.
O, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya-aya. Sa bawat pahid ay ginhawa.
Eating healthy is about balance and making sure your body gets the nutrients it needs to function properly. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines, where your care always comes first. You don't have to be perfect right away when you switch to a healthy diet. You don't need to change everything all at once and completely eliminate the foods you used to love eating. Now, this only leads to cheating or even giving up. A better approach is to make a few small changes at a time. Dr. Joy, when it comes to someone wanting to change for the better, can you give us some tips on how to do that, how to start that on that road to good nutrition?
Asking the patient what can they do, and trying to find out what are the foods that they habitually eat, and try to sort out what are the healthy foods and the unhealthy foods that they're actually eating. So it's try to lessen the unhealthy ones and increase the healthy ones. So if they're drinking a lot of soda, cut out the soda or try to limit the soda. And if they like vegetables and fruit, to increase intake of fruits and vegetables. So I always tell my patients, high five. Remember, high five. At least three servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit a day, which can help you get a better nutrition in your life.
Now, cooking more meals at home can help you take charge of what you're eating and monitor what goes into your food. You'll eat fewer calories and avoid unhealthy additives of packaged and takeout foods that can leave you feeling bloated as well as tired. Miss Juvie, pwede mo kaming i-walk through kung paano ang maganda at madaling preparasyon ng masustansyang pagkain sa bahay?
So, considering na wala tayong time na paano magluto or what, but meron naman tayong mga possible strategies. When you purchase grocery items, you can have alternatives like sandwiches preparation instead of cooking of certain meals. You can have your cereals with milk and fruit slices, yung easy to prepare. And also you can have prepare or mga cheese sticks natin or salad to go with a separate sauce or rice bowl na possible na alternative ay yung mga steamed or baked potato, sweet potato. So yun yung mga, it's about time management kasi kailangan talaga ng effort to prepare even if we don't need to have a cooking preparation. So it's just about proper selection in the grocery and prepare it, stock it, or store it in our home as long as you can grab it. For example, cereals, just pour non-fat milk and you can add slices of fruit that would be considered healthy. So yan yung mga simple na pwede natin bilhin na hindi natin alam na healthy pa rin pala na kaya natin mag-prepare without cooking preparation. But we really recommend na we should have a time for a cooking preparation kasi we can easily modify the salt, the level of addition of salt and also yung pagiging oily ng food natin. If we do that in our home, we can modify it into a healthy preparation.
We hope you found our discussion today helpful. Thank you, endocrinologist Dr. Joy Fontanilla and clinical nutritionist dietitian Ms. Juvie Martillo C. Eating a healthier diet doesn't have to be complicated. Instead of counting calories, you can try thinking of your diet in terms of color, freshness, and variety. Try eating foods that's close as possible to the way nature made it. Focus on avoiding packaged and processed food and opt for more fresh ingredients whenever possible. It can make huge differences to the way you look, feel, as well as think. We want to be your partner for a lifetime of good health. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and this has been MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines.
O, anyari sa'yo? Ba't nakasimangot ka? Alam ko na. Masakit ang katawan mo, ano? Sa sobrang trabaho? O di kaya masakit ang ulo sa sobrang stress? Break ka muna. Hinga ng malalim at imasahe ang ulo mo gamit ang Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Ako rin ganun eh. Kaya pag mataas ang tensyon sa trabaho, mag-Herbalaya break ka muna.
Herbalaya Liniment Oil. Amoy na kaaya.